Hello and welcome to my review of the entire Solar Auxilia new releases for Warhammer The Horus Heresy from Games Workshop. Now this is the full selection of new releases, including the Battle for Beta Garmon campaign book over on the right hand side. So it's all of the new plastic kits as well as the Solar Auxilia battle group. This isn't my full force. I do have a second battle group which I'm yet to build, and I would like to eventually add a few more tanks and any other miniatures they have currently in the pipeline that they'll release in the future. So I'll take a closer look at each one of these units individually. There are separate reviews of all of these on the channel, so if there's a model you like the look of and I explain its name and things, then just type that name into Google with Super Saiyan and you probably will get the unboxing and review of it. There will be another larger full collection video at some point when I've built the other Solar Auxilia battle group, and if I bought any more tanks and things. That'll be coming to the channel a bit later on. So let's just start off with the first wave, I would say, which is the Solar Auxilia battle group. Now I think I have released a review of the battle group right there on the channel. £130, you're getting this Leman Russ strike tank with a few weapon variants. You're getting the Dracosan, which is an almost £60 kit. You're getting that Aethon Heavy Sentinel, which is almost 40. You're getting an almost £50 set of 20 las rifle Auxilia, and you're getting the command section over there as well. I think I'm sort of hiding some of the troops there. Maybe I should put the tank over there. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's kind of hiding a few of those troops, isn't it? That's a bit better. If I sort of change the angle of the camera, you can see more of the troops. I think the second wave included 5 new kits, and when I say new, they took some of the similar chassis of existing kits. So you've got the Malcador that came out in the second wave, has the same chassis as the Dracosan, but has an extra sprue to cover like the turret and things. You've got the Leman Russ assault tank over there, which has exactly the same chassis, but just different weapon options. You've got the Hermes or Hermes, I think it's just Hermes, light sentinels here. You've got the Veletaris, and then you've got the Basilisk / Medusa siege tank over there. All great additions to Solar Auxilia, and I like how they focus on more of a mechanised force. Unlike Mechanicum, who had the battle group and then released the disappointing Archmagos Prime, but also the very cool Thanatar. I wish that they also had 5 extra new releases after their release. Maybe we'll get them later on. So as I say, you've got the battle group with the 20 las rifles, the Dracosan, the Aethon Heavy Sentinel, and this Leman Russ strike tank. It's a good kit. It will take you longer than you think to put together all of those units, but they're a good size. They work well with each other, and you can have them mechanised. Speaking of which, you know, Games Workshop then released no less than 3, I say new tanks. You've got the Malcador, which, you know, people have been waiting for Malcadors for a while, you know, moving from the Forge World resin. So that was a big change compared to what we had before. You know, it's not like the Leman Russes that have been, you know, in plastic for over 20 years now. But now they've got the Solar Auxilia sort of flavour. The Basilisk I'm very, very happy with. It probably surpassed my expectations more than any other kit. Maybe not as much as the Aethon Heavy Sentinel, but it's a lovely kit. I do think that the angle of the Earthshaker cannon could have been more obtuse than what we get. It's not the best, it's not the top degree firing angle, which is a bit disappointing, but it kind of makes up a little bit with a full detailed interior and a, canopy that you can take off, and you can actually see the rest of the length of the cannon in there, and it just moves quite well. You can aim it at any kind of point, and you can also just rest it at a neutral angle too. So that's a very nice tank, and no doubt if I built the Medusa I would experience the same thing. The Malcador is good. I mean, it's another tank that will take you longer than you think. The only differences between this and the Dracosan is it doesn't have the full armor protection at the top, but what I can tell is that the Demolisher cannon is the same, but unfortunately does drop, so you might want to glue that in place. You've got this turret which doesn't have the best fire and arc, and then again these sponsons also don't have the best fire and arc. But that's it for the Malcador. I probably would only get one more Malcador for the collection. And then you've got the Leman Russ assault tank over here. It's exactly the same as the strike tank that comes in the battle group, but with just a different turret. And yes, you can swap these turrets about. So if you wanted to have a different hull mounted weapon there, like a multi-laser or heavy bolter, you can swap them. So it's not as decent as the sponson customization options and things of the Space Marine tanks. I think the Space Marine tanks are like the poster child for the Adeptus Astartes for Horus Heresy, and you've got, the thing is with those tanks is all of their sponsons can be swapped about with all the different tanks like the Kratos and the Sicarans and the Predators. Fantastic customization options with those. Just because of the looks of these tanks, you can't really get that. As I say, the best you can hope for is just swapping out the turrets and just having different hull mounted weapons. Then we had a few like odd releases. They pretty much invented some new units and just put their rules in the Battle for Beta Garmin book. Yeah, the rules are in that book, but you also got the Aethon Heavy Sentinel rules in the battle group. But yes, the Aethon Heavy Sentinel over there, that was brand new for Solar Auxilia, hasn't been around before, wasn't even in resin, and they just created that. I guess it's kind of like a Contemptor equivalent, or even a Castellax equivalent, probably a bit better than a Castellax maybe, but no close combat abilities really. And then these, which are a bit, they look all right, they look cool, but they are a bit redundant in their, their usefulness is just, they are a mobile platform for Volkite, but the weapons are just very lackluster for these. At least they go well with the army and aid with that mechanized look. And then you've got the Velataris Storm section. I equipped mine all with these Volkite weapons, Calivers I think they are. You can equip them with these Storm Axes, which have Murderous Strike. So these are like their elite faction, and they have some decent saves as well. So a bit more survivable. My favourite model in this whole setup is probably the Basilisk. It was tough between that and the Aethon Heavy Sentinel. The Aethon Heavy Sentinel definitely surpassed my expectations, but I just had so much fun building the Basilisk, and I wouldn't hesitate to pick up a second one, just as kind of like building up a long-range artillery section for the force, of which I would like it to be fully mechanised. So hence why I've got that other Dracosan. Probably would pick up a third Dracosan individually at some point as well, but that really depends on how quick Games Workshop are at bringing out the plastic versions of the Aurochs armoured transport and the kind of Predator type tank that they used to have. I'm not sure whether we will get a fully plastic Stormhammer. That would be nice, considering we do have, plastic Bane blades and things, but unfortunately they can't be used for Solar Auxilia. They're not in that army list. You're just stuck with that Stormhammer. Hopefully they will change the rules at some point to have just normal Bane blades in the force. Maybe create some kind of extra sprue that changes the aesthetic a little bit of the Bane blade so that they fit better with the force. There's still plenty more units that they could turn to plastic, plenty more tanks, such as the Aurochs that I keep talking about, and actually aircraft. The only aircraft I can think of in Horus Heresy is the Xiphon Interceptor, of course the Thunderhawk and Stormbird for Space Marines, but it would be nice for other factions to get them, yes, even Mechanicum, even if it's just like a Voltarax, is it? But there are plenty more tanks as well, if Games Workshop wanted to focus on them, as well as Rapier batteries. Other tanks such as the Valdor Tank Destroyer or even the Malcador Infernus, they just need to bring out another couple of sprues to build the kind of Inferno cannon and the fuel attachment rig at the back. What do you guys think of all of the Solar Auxilia? I think it's a very good start. I can definitely see Games Workshop adding to this army as it picks up momentum. What do you guys think of all the new releases for Solar Auxilia? And use this opportunity to write in the comments below your favourite Solar Auxilia model right now, and which model you would like to see be released in plastic out of the whole range. Maybe it's just something new as well that we haven't seen before. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.